You know, I'm starting to think I have a problem here with cars. But until the wife starts bitching, we ain't gonna worry about it. And yeah, the good cars are in the garages. Guys, welcome back to the channel, and it has been a minute. Now, I know I haven't made a video in a couple of months, but we are going to be working on free candy today. It's car show season here on the Jersey Shore, so we just went to a show yesterday. Van did very well. Really well. Wife's Cougar came home with nothing.
Well, I think this really sucks.
So, what we're going to be doing something I've been meaning to do for a while. We are going to be swapping out these front seats. Now, it is already a pain in the ass to get the motor cover off with these seats. The seats that are going in are bigger, so we're definitely not going to get the motor cover off with the new seats. However, don't have to take it off too often, so we're just going to roll with it. Also, one of the other issues we have going on here, my rear door is bent, and this gets really wonky when I'm opening it and closing it. Kind of sucks. And on top of that, the arcade in the back is no longer working. I believe it's the graphics card that went out. Not sure, but we're going to pull that apart and we're going to see if we can fix that. So I'm going to start here. We're going to pull off this seat. I don't even know if the new seats are going to fit at all. I might have to completely move the bases, but we're going to figure that out. And what we are going with is, I bought 6 of these chairs off the old marketplace, 275 bucks, kept the best 3, sold the other 3 for 200, so I'm into 3 of these for $75. So let me get a wrench. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to take the passenger seat out first, and we're going to see how we can mount these. So, looking at the underside of our barrel chair, obviously we're going to have to lift it up like 3/4 of an inch. First thing I'm going to do is go through and pull out all these screws and get this base off. I do believe these came originally, I don't think these had rollers, so someone at some time fabric-cobbled this together, so I don't think there's any need for me to record unscrewing this. So let's get this off. I'm going to go set it in the truck and just get an idea of the height of where these are going to sit, because these are definitely going to be higher than the other chairs. So let's start with that. Like any project, there is good news and there is bad news. Now, the good news, they fit and it looks awesome. And I do believe that I will be able to swivel these. However, the bad news is these sit way too high the way they are. Like if I just sit down here, even with my eyesight, I'm pretty much looking straight at this. So, yeah, that field of view is not great. And it's only going to get worse when I put the slider on it. So, I have to figure out a way. Now, I do believe I cut these bases down at one point and welded them back together, and I remember that sucked. I don't really want to cut the base down. Also, the seat belts, they do not fit any longer. They fit with no one in there, and that's it. But I'm not worried about getting longer seat belts. That's no big deal at all. So let me assess this situation, because I mean, once we add these on here, it's just going to go up another inch. So let me think about this and see where we end up. Okay, so after pulling the seat base, which was the easiest thing for me to do, I'm just looking here and it seems like there's just a couple little tack welds holding this seat base, the swivel, to the base itself. So I'm going to cut these off. Now obviously if I get rid of 6 inches, that's going to put me way too low. But I will be gaining an inch, and that's 5 inches, and I'm probably about 3 inches too high. So maybe just make the space up with a 2x4. I don't know. We're going to cut this off first, and then we're going to go get the slide mount the slide to the chair, set it on top of this, and see where we're at. So yeah, let's do that. All right, well, that was definitely the least fun thing I did today, but it's off. I went through, I just kind of deburred it. I'm not too worried about this because this is going to be sitting on a 2x4. And I think next up, I'm going to cut some 2x4s And I have to make sure that the holes line up. So I'm gonna have to get through here somehow, and hopefully it lines up to there. We're gonna find out. So what I'm doing here is, you can see I made some spacers, and I'm just gonna start with 1.5 inches. I can always double this up. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the base on here now. And I already clocked the base like 90 degrees. So let me just set this down. So I'm gonna square this up, and unfortunately, none of my holes, like this one's a little close. This one's a little close. I'm gonna get it squared up. I'm gonna screw it in a couple spots and then flip it over and mark it. So we know what, I don't know if I'm gonna drill through this base or if I wanna just tack weld some nuts onto it or bolts. We'll figure it out. So let me get this screwed in. All right, this is going along fairly well. So we have her all mocked up now. We got the slider on, we have the swivel base on, and I think we're just going to go throw her in the van and put the chair on top of it and see how we are height-wise. Now, I might have to bend this down, but I'm not going to until I put the seat on. So let's do that. All right, this is with 1.5 inches, and I know the camera won't pick it up, but I'd say it's maybe 1.5 inches lower than the original. However, we sit in it, and camera is directly with my eye. That looks pretty good. Way better than up here. So, yeah, see if I have enough wood to maybe go 3 inches. Maybe I'll give that a shot and see if I like that better. I mean, I can't go too high because then I'm gonna end up hitting the steering wheel with my knees. So, I don't know. I'm thinking 1.5 inches might play. Yeah, let me mount this and see if it swivels and see if I have any problems. Okay, so I think I have it pretty much lined up where I want. But this is gonna be an issue. So I think since I have some extra wood, I'm gonna go up another 1.5 inches down below. So let me get this cut and in place, and I'll show you how I'm going to secure it. And it's not good. It's not going to be sketchy at all. Here's where we ended up. What I did was I got 2 pieces of wood, angles to match the barrel. Obviously, I'm going to go back and paint these and everything once I get it all mocked up. So we got about 3 inches total lift here from the floor. We had probably, I want to say 6. But these are much higher chairs, so I think we're about dead even where we were, which was a comfortable ride height. So I use these little spacers that came on the chair, and as you can see, I have clearance for the swivel. So I think I'm gonna drop some screws into here and here, and then I'll move the rail forward, drop them in the back, and we're gonna go see how this feels in the van. Okay, all my clearances are good. We are all screwed in. This is all one unit. Everything is clearing, just barely, which is all you need. So I'm going to just knock these into here with a hammer real quick. And I'm going to go see if these will fall through the floor. I'm going to make sure these are lined up. And then what I'll do is I'll mark the centers and either drill them out, or I could just weld these right to there. But probably better off drilling them out. Give me a little more play. So let me go see if I get this in the van. Well, we have her in her original mounting bracket. And she swivels all the way to there till she hits the wall. So basically the seat has to move over that way a little bit. I don't want to drill through the floor though, because 1, shag sucks, and 2, where the mounting brackets are, they're set perfect. If I go over like 3 inches, then I'm just going to be right through the floor. So other problem I have is when I turn this around. Let me turn it around, I'll show you. Okay, so here's the seat, and now we're basically dead even to where we were. Height is perfect, and if it's perfect here in the passenger side, it's going to be perfect in the driver's side. But here's an issue. This seat has to be all the way back to clear. I don't think I'm going to be able to have the seat all the way back over there. So I could get rid of these door pulls and just go with a leather strap. That's option 1. Not really sure I want to do that. And option 2, I'm just going to take this whole seat and try to move it over. But as you can see, she slides really well. But whenever it's forward, door won't close. We need about 2 inches. So, yeah. Let me pull the seat out again and figure this out. Okay, so on the bottom, I moved everything over about 1 inch. I went pretty much as far as I could go, as you can see. Now I'm going to move the top over about 1 inch, because that's about all I got. So, don't know if I'm going to be drilling these. I think I might be welding them. So, to do that, I'm just going to throw a board right on top of there. Just like this. Screw it in place, move it over as far as I can, and see where we end up. If you look at the chair now, you can see we stepped it all the way over here as far as we could. And then we stepped it over here as far as we could because we were kind of limited to where our metal was and our bolt. So, once again, I'm going to go throw this in the van. I know these line up, that's good. And if they do, then I'm going to pull all these, mark them, and drill them out. And then we're going to completely lock this all down, which is just going to be a shit ton of 3-inch wood screws. I know it's not the safest thing, but desperate times, man. I really don't know why I'm surprised. I shouldn't be surprised. I 100% went the wrong way. And I pulled the chair out more.
We fucked up.
So yeah. Now I'm almost rubbing the side without even moving it. And obviously, this ain't gonna close at all. So, let me pull this and reverse everything I just did. Shit.
Don't make the same mistakes I did.
A little off topic, but you guys thinking what I'm thinking? I don't know. I'm gonna have 2 of these chairs, and I think the Kubota could use one too. They are pretty comfy. We're gonna circle back to this. All right, so I only had to redo the bottom here. Not a big deal. I didn't have to redo the top. So now we have her in place. And with the door slammed, we no longer touch. And she pivots all the way around without touching anything. So yeah, I'm calling that a win. Now I'm gonna take this apart. I'm just gonna weld right there, right to that shit. And underneath I'll weld. I'll get like half of those in, and then I'll be able to really burn the other ones in. So it'll be safe fish. Man, I cannot win. I was just getting ready to lift this seat up and chuck her in the van for the last time. And yeah, I put the bracket on backwards. That's supposed to be facing forward. That ain't gonna work. Fuck!
I'm not a smart man.
Okay, 3 hours later, and we have 1 seat done. So, overall, doesn't look bad. Maybe I'll paint this. Nah, you know what, that's fine. Kind of accents that. So, yeah, we're gonna rinse and repeat that side, and I'm not gonna record it. And God willing, it will go faster. However, that won't be tonight because my wife just said we have dinner plans, which I was not a part of, or I would have said no. See you guys tomorrow. Okay, so I took a few days off from working on the van, and I think today we're going to tackle the doors. So you can see I made this little brace here, and you can see where the hinge is bent, and it's getting worse and worse. So my game plan is basically I'm going to sandwich 2 pieces front and back, obviously paint that. And then probably use little Allen head bolts and just burn right through. Use a tap and die set on the inside piece. So before we get to this, let me show you what we got done. And I can introduce you to Jeremy. Jeremy's going to be our co-pilot now. And as you can see, the seats are all done. Right, Jeremy? So yeah, we got rid of the original electric chair. Opted to go with the barrel there. We have the barrels up front. And yeah, we're pretty set. I'm decided if I want to keep the spaghetti strainer on here. You know, or if I want to just let them hang free. But yeah, pretty cool. And oh, you know what? Let me show you what we did in the back, because I did fix the video game also. Moving to the back, I did not record this, but I figured out it was the monitor that was bad. So for my purposes, rather than buy a new 19-inch monitor, I just upgraded to a 32-inch TV. TV plugged right in, and there's really nothing special inside this. 20,000 games, and it's all just this little chip. So yeah, I had to kind of notch out the game system for the TV, but hey, it fits. A little wood in the front and back. But yeah, pretty happy with it. So let's get back to this door. So for my purposes, it's going to be much easier to take this door off the van. So I do have a quick connect down here, but I really don't feel like pulling all this junk off. So we're gonna circle back to this. And this should make life easier.
The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
Let me get this off. This was a problem that I did not foresee. Pretty much the entire door broke. Even rusted a little. So, I don't know. Maybe I can just weld it. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to fuck up the paint down here, but I'm going to clean this. I'm going to get this back into place, and we're going to see where we're at. New game plan. So, I found these little 90s here, and I think they will be strong enough to hold it. So, you can see how that's bent out. However, if I press down on this, you can see it straighten out. So once this gets to 90, I'm going to tack these both in place. And then we're going to worry about bringing that corner back up. And then we're going to weld this all together. I think we're just going to tack it at first. And then we're going to try it out. Then we're going to hammer it home. So let me get this started. Yeah, I might have done one and forgot to hit record. But anyway, that's in place. We're going to get this one tacked. And you know what? I think we're just going to hammer it home. I'm pretty confident. I'll at least hammer home the bottoms. I can always cut the tacks on the top. So let's try this out.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago. But
Alright, that should get us there. Let this cool, and we'll try her out. And I'll straighten that out in the meantime. She's hammered home. Is she pretty? No. Does that matter? No. Don't really care. The fact that this is kind of jammed in here is a little concerning, but I'm going to knock this out. These I can bend a little bit. I'm going to get this primed and we're going to go test fit her. It is important to note that these doors are not staying on this van. Now the game plan for free candy is probably in like 2 years or so. I am going to redo it and we're going to do a color change. So, meantime, we're just going to scab this in. My game plan is to get solid doors for this van. Put a nice little light coat on her. Then we're going to fold the edges back and kind of blend her in. And it's going to be good enough.
That'll do, pig.
All right, we're going to muscle this up there and we're going to pray for the best. So let's go. She is back in. So with the exception of just tying these wires back together, which I'm not going to record that, let's check out our door gap. I would say that that is not bad. I will take it. So yeah, I'll go through. I will repaint that real quick. Like I said, I'm getting solid doors, so I really don't care about these doors at all. Because, quite honestly, it's been 3 years. I'm not really happy. You can see like paint chipping here and there. On the wing, some shitty body work, depending on how you see it in the sun. Right here, not happy with that. So yeah, she's going to get a whole color change, but that is for another video. So guys, thanks for watching. I know we have not been posting pretty much anything all year. It's been my year for working on the house, but we are getting back to it with fall coming. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that stuff that these successful YouTubers tell you to do. Look at that piece of shit.
Shit'll buff out.
Don't bother.
Who the fuck did this bodywork? And get off the couch and get in the garage. Alright, so I completely forgot about the story of these seats. So I found 6 of these on Marketplace right out in Pennsylvania, only an hour away or so. $275. So what I ended up doing was I kept the 3 best, and as you can see, there are no tears or anything in these. Sold the 3 worst ones on Marketplace for $200. That put me into these seats for $75. I pulled the old captain's chairs. After 2 hours, sold them for $150. So basically, I got paid $75 to put the seats that I always wanted in my van. And I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty badass.